Calibration of the ICC fixture requires kit number 20-2749-1. The kit includes a peep gauge, calibration shaft, and shims. With the rack on the locks, at a height placing the runway above the base of the primary mirror, locate the fixture assembly adjacent to the outside of the rack as shown. If required, adjust the fixture so the mirror is perpendicular to the top of the runway. Fold the mirror arm down. Position the peep gauge on the runway as shown, and with the right side edge inboard of the arm mirror about 1/2 inch. Then, mark a horizontal line on the mirror based on this reference. Mark a vertical line based on the edge of the gauge. To make this easier, the production peep gauge will have a reference notch punched in the edge of the gauge. Sight through the peephole and align the gauge so the reflection of the peephole is centered over the cross you just marked on the mirror. Now, without moving the gauge laterally, mark a dot on the primary mirror through the left-hand peephole. Mark a cross centered on this dot. With the gauge set just a few inches away from the mirrors, center the peephole over the cross on the arm mirror. And then check to be sure the opposite peephole is centered over the cross on the primary mirror. If the peepholes will not align with the marked crosses, repeat the previous steps. Otherwise, move the peep gauge to the opposite runway. Sight through the left peephole and move the gauge laterally until centered on the cross on the primary mirror. If the cross on the mirror cannot be seen through the peephole, you need to change the angle of the primary mirror. Next, sight through the right peephole and note the position of the arm mirror cross on the peep gauge scale. If the cross is within this box, the mirrors are in proper alignment. If the cross is outside the box, note its position on the scale and refer to the table on the installation instructions. The table will indicate the amount and location of the shims required to correct the position of the mirror arm. Shims are included with the calibration kit. To shim the mirror arm, remove this pivot bolt and remove the arm from the fixture. Next, loosen, but do not remove the Allen head bolts attaching the plate to the arm. Hold the plate and bolts in place and turn the arm assembly over. Carefully remove the plate and note any shims that may be in place from the factory. Install the required shims at the location specified by the correction table. Position the mirror arm onto the plate. While holding the plate and bolts to the arm, turn the assembly over. Now, tighten the bolts. Then, reattach the arm assembly to the fixture. Using the peep gauge, recheck the alignment of the mirrors. Using a C-clamp, attach the calibration shaft to the approach ramp as shown. Next, remove the mounting shaft from the laser assembly. Now, remove the lock knob and screws from the cover. Slide the laser onto the calibration shaft. Remove the cover. Reinstall the lock knob. And then snug it so the assembly is level. Turn the laser on and place a piece of tape where the dot strikes the wall or other stationary object at the front of the bay. Mark the location of the dot on the tape. Now, loosen the lock knob and reinstall the laser assembly level in an inverted position. Mark the position of the laser dot and then place a mark centered between the two positions. Use these set screws to move the dot horizontally and vertically to place the laser dot on the centered calibration mark. Now, reinstall the laser assembly upright and level on the calibration shaft. The laser dot should strike the same calibration mark on the tape. Next, remove the laser assembly. Rotate it 180 degrees and reinstall it level on the calibration shaft. Turn the laser on and check the position of the dot on the calibration mark. If it's not on the mark, adjust these set screws to bring the dot centered on the calibration mark.